various areas. We thank you for this gathering this morning as we discuss the business of growing jobs for our young people, which is the most existential challenge that we have as a country. We thank you. We ask for your presence. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You can have your seats. Your Excellency, the President, our Cabinet Secretary, my fellow PSs, Chairman of the boards, and professionals in the built environment, good morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this very exciting meeting. Your Excellency, here today, we have got consultants from the various chapters. We have our architects, we have our quantity surveyors, and we have got the various disciplines of engineers from civil, structural, mechanical, electrical engineers that have come, all of them together, so that we can put our heads together to discuss the business of creating jobs. When we had a discussion with you, you've almost impressed on us that every second or third word has got to be jobs. If we're not talking about jobs, then we are completely off the message. And today, we're here to discuss not just few jobs. We're here to discuss a lot of jobs. And Your Excellency, these jobs, they just don't happen because you talk about them. They happen because you have a plan. And we have a great plan of affordable housing, of markets, of student accommodation that are currently being rolled out in every part of the country. And we have now hit what we call critical mass. Critical mass is that the volume of number of housing units, over 160,000 units that are being supervised by these good people, over 280 markets, and soon we are about to start on student accommodation where the first round only, alone, Your Excellency, we are putting 177,000 beds. That in itself has created a huge demand for labor, and that is both formal labor. I know you get accused of creating mjengo labor jobs only, but a lot of people don't understand, Your Excellency, the long value chain that exists from this built environment. So that is what we're here to do. That is the business of the day today. So Your Excellency, because this is not my day, it is your day to be able to address us, allow me to invite just a few speakers from the built environment, just to come and make a few remarks. The first one I want to invite is the President of Borax. He is the registrar. He's the one, they're the ones that basically register all the professionals. And they've been of great support. And even they will be even of greater support, Your Excellency, because we have got so many young people who are graduating with these degrees and are joining the formal market, but the economy is not creating enough jobs. So this is a good home for them to come in. And so the regulator is going to be a very critical part working with the industry. So allow me then, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to invite Sylvester Muli to come and make just some very brief remarks. And then after him, I want to invite the president of the Institute of Engineer Sharma, who will follow him. And then in that order, because I don't want to interrupt. Then after that, Your Excellency, we will have two people. I'm going to invite Judy to come and speak on behalf of the consultants that are actually supervising the works. I think it's important that you hear from the horses' mouths themselves on how how they're pushing on with the program. I'll come back later.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, Cabinet Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, and all protocols observed. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Architect S.K. Muli. I'm the chairman of the Board of Registration of Architects and Quant Surveyors. This is a board that regulates the practice of architects and quant surveyors in the country. Indeed, this is a great moment because Your Excellency, through the programs that we've created, you've given us opportunities that have never been seen before. Our architects and quant surveyors are greatly engaged throughout affordable housing programs, industrial buildings, schools, hostels, and many others. It's an opportunity that had never been seen before. And the professionals continue to support all these programs. We've got so far about 2,000 architects and 1,000 quant surveyors who are registered and who are able to undertake all these jobs. They have undertaken the programs that have already started, and also the graduates who have come out of universities and not employed have been given internship opportunities in these programs, and they are very busy, and they have got hopes that they can still also continue to get registered and continue supporting the nation. As the Board of Registration of Architects and Quant Surveyors, we've seen the government efforts in these programs, and in our last effort to review the scales of fees for architects and quant surveyors, we noted this and provided a clause that allows architects and quant surveyors to sit down with government and negotiate fees which are outside the scale of fees. But that is only for government projects, so that they can also be able to give support to these nice programs the government is undertaking. The prayer for the professions is that as we consider giving waivers to the contractors who also equally support the programs, we can also make a consideration that the fees that you are going to negotiate with these professionals, you consider a waiver so that the little you give them is not taken away by way of taxes. As we continue to support the nation to make everything affordable. We thank you very much for this effort, and we success in all the programs we are taking. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Cabinet Secretary, the Principal Secretaries present, my professional colleagues, good morning. My name is Engineer Shama Kiteme. I'm the President, Institution of Engineers of Kenya. At IEK, we have over 13,000 members, all engineers, and many of our members are involved in the HP program. Your Excellency, we came together, architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, planners, and surveyors, so that we can be part of this initiative. And we are grateful for the provision to be involved. We are grateful for the promise it offers for our many graduate engineers, many professional engineers, many consulting architects. And I know the Borax chair has just mentioned about the issue of fees. But I also want to say that our colleagues who are involved in the program, they still hope that as this program continues to be rolled out, the set fees can be reconsidered so that we have something close to what we have in the statutes. Otherwise, we are 100% committed to supporting this initiative, Your Excellency, and there's so many students, so many graduates, they're very eager to be involved in this project. Otherwise, we're very honored that we can be part of this great initiative for this country. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. This is an ambush, Bwanahinga, but well, I will try and address just a few remarks on representing how it has been for this particular journey. It's been probably a year and a half since we started this. We were involved in this particular program. It took us back to the campus days when we will transnight, because by the end of the day, I think our PS has been very strict on us. We must deliver. So we have to work day and night. And at the same time, I know it said you've only involved 29 firms or 30 firms, but in actual sense, it's almost 200 companies that you're working with, because under that, you might just see one umbrella, but under it, there's an architect, there's a quantity surveyor, there's a structural engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and a civil engineer. So out of these 200, I can assure you, for each and every firm, speaking for our case, we have definitely doubled the number of employees that we had initially. So for us, we say thank you for that opportunity. I know there's another person who will speak on this issue of the jobs, but on the very instance that has been provided for us, and we're grateful for that. Same thing, we've had the impact to take this to every corner of the country so that it's not just centralized in Nairobi, it has been centralized all over. Thank you very much.
So, Your Excellency, before I invite Julius Kipketer to come and now talk about the jobs on the ground, allow me to recognize the presence of my colleagues, PSs, here with me from the ministry. Joel Arumonyang, Your Excellency, he's our regulator, that's where Borak sits, so I need to treat him very well. And then I have probably the most consequential PS in this program, lands, Your Excellency, because we cannot build anything without lands. Nixon generally, thank you so much. Allow me also to recognize CEOs that are here. Matthew from National Housing Corporation, and I have got ED of National Construction Authority, and I have got the CEO of the Affordable Housing Board, Sheila Waweru. We have DG Kibet. We have maybe the board members of Affordable Housing Board. You can just stand up and wave. We have got 3 of them. Members of, is there anybody else from NHC? The chair of NHC, is he here? I didn't see him. Okay. Anyone from National Construction Authority, led by the chair, sitting next to the president? Thank you so much. We have got a National Construction Authority. And then, thank you so much. The staff from the State Department of Housing, Your Excellency, if the government used to pay bonuses, these people deserve a bonus. They've really worked very, very hard. And then we also have the staff from Public Works. You can kindly stand. Thank you so much, the staff from Public Works. Anyone from Lands? Staff from Lands? Nixon came alone. Okay, there are 3, there are 4 of them there. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Your Excellency, now I'm going to invite Julius Kipketer to come and speak on behalf of the jobs and what are actually our plans with these interns. Your Excellency, it's not just about hiring 4,000 interns. We must make sure that there is sufficient work. We are also considering shifts, doubling number of shifts that we are going to work. We have a deliberate plan to mop up as many people out there, Your Excellency, that are looking for a job. So Julius will come, and then after that, I will invite the chair of the Affordable Housing Board to make a few remarks, because, Your Excellency, without the money, we will not be able to pay these interns. So Julius, and then followed by Affordable Housing Board. Thank you.
Your Excellency, first and foremost, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity as consultants, mainly from the private sector. What we have seen in this program is something unprecedented. I may say that just before this program, of consultative firms were going through a lot of difficulties. But with the commencement of this program for the last 1.5 years, a lot has happened. Therefore, I will present our view as consultants, what has happened within the consultancy, and what has happened away from the consultancy as we get to the supervision and interaction with the construction site workers and contractors, subcontractors, suppliers. A lot of it has happened. So I'll try to give a view of the consultants and also our contribution in this and what we are playing. So first and foremost, within our consultancies, what has happened? Just like the speaker who was here had said, we are about 200 different disciplines that are involved from the private sector. If you try to work out the figures, we had about an average of about 2,000 people within each consultancy. Currently, when you say doubled, we have gone at least unemployed 2,000 more. Now, as we get to this internship program, and it's happening across the consultancies, in the year 2023-2024, our institutions of higher learning, the universities, produced about 8,000 graduates within the built environment. Out of this, we can confidently say we have also absorbed about 25% of that to assist us. But beyond that also, apart from the professionals, because of a lot of paperwork that we've gotten into, a lot of other things that you have to do, you could easily add another 500 of subordinate staff that you've employed, from the T-guards, people who are managing our documentation and all that. So all in all, it's been positive, and we're very grateful. Now, looking forward from the consultancy, we think that it's a beginning of having mega consultancy firms in this country. A lot of firms have been doing small jobs, but this has offered an opportunity to deal with this large-scale construction. And in that upskilling and experience, to an extent that we think in the future, we should comfortably be able even to bid firms in the region, and that is going to spark a lot of employment and interest people in this industry, which, as we look forward, as the young ones come, this is going to be something very positive, and that we are grateful for that you've injected a lot to our industry. Thank you very much. Now, let me get into what you've discussed, as P.S. Hinga had said, and what you've been looking at. When we came into this program, a lot of us didn't understand what is all this program about. It's an idea. But as usual, it will slowly evolve, and it has been evolving. And from public speaking, from reading newspapers, listening to radios, televisions, and all that, we knew that to do with employment when you're outside, and jobs, and that this is what's going to happen. And you have kept on understanding as we went on ahead. So this program, I will talk about how it is transforming the employment within this country and how it's catalyzing employment. And this is what we have seen. It's no longer something theoretical. It is what we are witnessing. So first, it is an intervention that has impacted the whole value chain within the construction industry. Not only from consultancy, construction, it goes all the way up to the suppliers, Mboga, the artisans in the village, and all that. There's an impact based on that. Two, there is a focus, and I think as consultants, we talk so much about it, that with this program, we want to see the local content, we want to see skill development, and inclusive employment. So apart from upscaling the consultancy, it's also cascading down that you're upscaling everybody else down as all the way to the sites. Three, using technology. There'll be a lot of introduction of technology into construction through these programs. And through that, we'll maximize employment and have efficient systems that will result out of this program, and all within the employment sector. Now, we are also looking at sustainability. Sustainability is very important. This is not going to be a one-off thing. Once you train all these people within this sector, we are looking at sustainability. There's a lot that will happen. Their realtors will come later. There is maintenance. that will happen in these buildings. And all this will come out of the training that is going on now. The plumbers that will train in the program, they're the ones that will be maintaining these buildings. So for the long term, it is also about sustainability in employment. And that, we can focus that, and we see the numbers are going to go high. Now, let me now talk about the strategic areas that we think are key to actually giving that impact. The first one, which we talk about, is the local content and labor-intensive construction. What are we going to do about this? And being the consultants, we are the ones leading this. We have to offer direction. We have agreed that we use local materials as much as possible. Because when you do that, you're spreading this across to everybody, wherever there are sites. 2, we try to encourage labor-intensive work so that we pick as many as possible of our young people to get into this program. A good case, or as an example, there is a lot of work that can happen around the sites. Opening up some roads to madam levels, for example. You could want to do some landscaping around. And all that, it will not only be within the site. We are creating all around for nearly everybody. 3rd, how do we increase employment within the site? Usually, you have our thinking now with the challenge that we have to ramp up the employment. We want to have 2 shifts. Start one around 7:30. It goes up to midday. Break that shift, get another shift that will go maybe up to 5 or 6:30, so that instead of having one cohort, you have 2 of workers. And that you are doubling the number of workers that are on that site. And you're getting more people involved. Now, to the localities where this is happening. When you bring this construction into the locality and create all this activity, straight away, you've created employment. And that is very positive. For those people who might not even have interest in construction, there'll be something they will see. They'll get involved all through. So everybody will be busy within that locality. There's something to do. And this might save even some of our young men from drinking and all the things that happen, the vices that we see within them. Now, 2, another issue is the skill development and capacity building. What are we doing? Within the sites that we have, we want to end up with the artisans who have come in, who did not have any certifications, to be trained, to know that we have TVETs, and in some way, after the construction or in the process of the construction, they can start going for the trade test. And in that way, that is a way of contributing to ensuring that by the time the construction is finished, you have people who are certified, who can then now have the sustainability, give us sustainability in the construction sector. And at the same time, the TVETs will have also participated within the construction industry, and in that, we'll be building a very good workforce for the future for the construction industry. Now, the Jokali sector, what's happening in the Jokali sector is a lot, as you're aware, and I think consultants are aware. We have windows, doors, the things that they can do. All this is being spread across. And the support, I think, from the PS Hinga here and the CS that we have here, there's a lot of discussions around that Jokali sector that we focus on them. There are very many. But we would like, as consultants, that at the end of the day, how can we banish the word Jokali? Why do you call these guys Jokali forever? It's somehow demeaning. Is it possible that we look forward now? Think about what I think about Korea. and other countries. Let's have, if possible, create a different perspective and view of these guys. Not Juakali. Maybe upscale them, they become cottage industries. We've discussed a lot that some of the things that we import from other countries, they're done in just small places, cottage industries. Why can't we do the same using this program? And in that also, we are going to create a lot of employment. They could even end up exporting some of the things that you'll manufacture. And we now remove it from Jokali. They become more formalized industries. Now, this also leads us to the policy and regulatory incentives. We are looking at encouraging firms, like we have said, to take more laborers all across. We give incentives to firms to consider gender balance and people with disabilities. They should not be left behind in this. Then MSMEs and informal sector integration. There could be policies that we can put in place, and I think that will just evolve, that when you have got these large private firms, we are also going to have more subcontractors. And once you have got more subcontractors, you have more employees. So as you grow the firms, you're also growing the base of that. The informal sector, including this program, that should be something that you are purposed to focus on throughout the program. So with these interventions that we are thinking, we believe we should get the numbers, we believe we'll get buy-ins, and we believe we'll have made an impact. And with all that, thank you, and we're very grateful.
Your Excellency, Cabinet Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, all protocols observed. I'd like to start by saying that it's amazing just how much can be done when it doesn't matter who gets the credit for doing the work. And it's important, and it's very important when you're executing a project of such national importance that it's about getting the work done. And that, and when we look at it in the context of the Affordable Housing Program, the Affordable Housing Board is here, receives the levy of hardworking Kenyans, and importantly, is here to plan for that levy and to ensure everything that has been discussed here about jobs can be done with certainty. And so the role of the board as far as providing certainty to the program is critical, because it allows that planning to be done into the future. To do 200,000 units a year, 1 million units, which is what the program has planned for, takes about 2.3 trillion shillings overall. So that is, and of course we know there is a bit of a funding gap to do that, but that is what the board and the assurance that the board will give all of you in the construction industry, all of the entire value chain, to know that we will inject a significant amount of funding into the program, and we will give you the certainty because, Your Excellency, you're very deliberate about the affordable housing program. All of you here are businessmen in one way or the other, and you had a business plan for this country. And the affordable housing program was part of your business plan, in addition to all the other key pillars. And if we look at other regions or other programs that have been successful in the past, if we look at the New Deal program out of the US, relief was one of the big targets and objectives of the New Deal program. And that relief was really about ensuring that there are immediate jobs that are injected into the economy. Recovery was all about how do we get out of this hole, because at the time the US economy found themselves in a hole. So Your Excellency, your business plan for housing is a plan that is one that we know is going to get this country back on recovery. It has got a long tail. We've got, there are lots of examples of where housing has successfully sustained jobs. If we look at the Egyptian model is the housing value chain employs 4 million people, and that has been a constant. And in addition to the jobs that are in the professional sector, the construction companies now in Egypt are over 1,500 middle to large construction companies that all have been developed from the housing value chain. So we are certain, and we know that this is going to be an everlasting program that will ride generations. Your Excellency, you are in Mukuru and you said it was a very consequential day. Now, if I look at it in terms of the jobs and importantly how we have been able to transform